You're a beast. How dare you pick this topic? You know I would end up crying.
I didn't know you were going to go Tarzan on me.
Hello and welcome to Separate Bathrooms. We would like to acknowledge the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, the traditional custodians of this land, and pay our respects to the elders both past and present. Welcome, my name's Cam Daddo.
I'm Ali Daddo.
And it's us today.
It is.
You've just got us.
Yep.
We're talking about the greatest film love stories and stories that shaped the way we view love and relationship.
Yeah, I like this.
Now, we're hoping this inspires some thought with you. What are your favourite love stories, your favourite films? Firstly, honey, what is your favourite form of entertainment? Is it film? Is it TV? Is it me jumping up and down on the couch going, I love you?
Yeah, it's definitely
What is your favourite
that.
form of entertainment?
The books?
Theatre?
Can I say books?
Oh, books, yeah. Why books? How boring. That doesn't Didn't think of books. That wasn't on my list here.
I know, I'm
books, but
sorry.
it makes so much sense with you.
Yeah, books are just my absolute favourite.
Are there any movies of books that you've read that have actually lived up to your imagination of the
Harry
book?
Potter ones.
Harry Potter.
Good. Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, I mean, I think across the board, people are going to say this, that it's never as good as the book, because I love the idea of where you can take it's your imagination and you have your own feeling and essence about that love story that you're reading in the book. So sometimes it doesn't play out as well.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, well, it's your imagination.
In research for today, I happened to come across something that I thought was really interesting. Do you know what the oldest romance story is?
The oldest romance story.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go right back to biblical. I'm just going to go Adam and Eve.
Right. Well,
the
that's
Bible.
what I thought.
Right.
Well, I guess you'll understand what I mean when I say this. So,
yeah, I'm being
obstinate. It's called The Love Song for Shin Sin.
Right.
And it was written about 2,000 years before Christ in ancient Mesopotamia. And it's considered the oldest love poem that exists in text form, but also functioned as a song performed during a sacred marriage ceremony.
Wow.
Isn't that beautiful?
It is beautiful. And that feels to me like when I ask you what's your favourite form of entertainment, mine is I do love the visual thing of movies, but it's singing and it's song.
I would have chosen that for you as well. I would have imagined that music was yours.
And when you put them together, like the images and the song, I'm dead in the water. That's me gone and I'm tears and I'm laughing and wow. Okay, so that's the love song of Shusin.
Yeah. Oldest love poem that they can. I'm sure there was more. I'm sure the Stone Age people were, professing love, but that's your oldest written one.
Yeah, but smack on the head.
Smack on the head, drag by the hair.
Drag by the hair.
Hope
Come
not.
on.
No,
Ooh,
they were probably a lot nicer to each other, actually.
Well, they needed each other, didn't they?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're talking about the greatest film love stories and stories that shape the way we view love and relationships. And I was going back through old school examples and so many lines from those old school
Exist
movies.
Today.
Yeah. I'm like To Have and To Have Not, 1944, Bogey and Bacall. We had it all like Bogey and Bacall. Remember that song?
Vaguely.
I can't remember who sung the song. That was totally like, wow, that's what it was. But that one, there's Lauren Bacall at age 23 saying, you know how to whistle, don't you, Steve? You put your lips together and blow.
You don't have to say anything and you don't have to do anything. Not a thing. Oh, maybe just whistle. You know how to whistle, don't you, Steve? You just put your lips together and blow.
23. I think that was her first movie.
Was it really?
Out of the Blocks.
Really?
Working, with Humphrey Bogart.
Really?
I believe so. Casablanca, again, Bogey, Ingmar Bergman. Oh, sorry, Ingrid. Bergman.
Yes.
Wartime romance set in Morocco.
Yeah.
What was the famous line from Casablanca?
one
Isn't
line.
that Here's Looking at You, Kid?
Well, there's yeah. Because there's
looking at you, kid.
sometimes there's lines that have been accredited to movies that actually never happened. But yeah, I think it is Here's Looking at You, Kid.
No. He's looking at you, kid.
Gone with the Wind?
Yep.
Frankly, my dear.
I don't give a damn.
Where shall I go? What shall I do?
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
West Side Story?
Yeah.
One of your favourites?
Tragic, though. I mean, based off Romeo and Juliet.
Right.
There's a time for us. Someday a time for us.
An Affair to Remember. You mentioned that one.
I did.
What was it about that movie? That's 1957.
I know. And it just, and that's one, if you don't know it, that's the one where a couple, they meet on a cruise and they fall in love, they desperately fall in love. And they plan to reunite 6 months later at the Empire State Building. But, spoiler alert, she ends up being in a wheelchair and she doesn't want to meet him again because she feels like he's not going to love her. And it's just really beautifully told.
I idealize them. Every woman I meet, I put up there. Because the longer I know her, the better I know her.
Yes, it's hard to keep them up there, isn't it?
Yes, isn't it?
Pretty soon the pedestal wobbles and then topples.
C'est la vie, etc.
That would happen a lot in real life, I reckon. Especially today, with all the dating websites and things like that, you might meet someone.
I'm going that would happen today.
Wouldn't that happen today where someone's actually not being honest with their circumstances?
No, she was very honest. They met on the cruise.
Oh,
and
clearly I haven't seen the movie. Oh, she was walking.
Yeah.
Oh, at the beginning.
Yeah, honey, what are you thinking?
No, I haven't seen
You
it.
got really confused.
I did. Well, I'm thinking she was in a wheelchair at the very beginning and he didn't know.
When I said the couple
And then
meet
she
and
didn't-
fall in love, right?
I wasn't listening.
And that, no,
Still podcast. This is all about
And
listening.
they plan to reunite in 6 months, but she then is in a wheelchair. She has an accident and she's in a wheelchair.
That's so sad.
I know.
That's Cary Grant, right?
This is what I'm telling you.
Jesus.
Cary Grant and Deborah Kerr.
I'll
yes.
have to listen to it.
Or listen to me, one or the other. It'd be
All
really,
right.
really helpful.
All right. And then you've got another great relationship movie, My Fair Lady.
Why is that a great relationship movie?
Well, because it's Rex Harrison. I mean, he changed.
No, I don't
No?
think that's a great relationship movie.
Oh, you don't like that one?
No, I don't like that one.
Audrey
at all.
Hepburn's in it, though.
But no.
Didn't she have a really weird Cockney accent in that movie?
Yeah, but it's like he falls in love only when she changes. Like, no, he should have loved her from the get-go.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, like, why does she have to change for him?
Well, she doesn't.
And he molds her into the perfect woman.
See, that wouldn't
she
stand.
was
Does that
perfect
stand
already.
up today?
No, I don't think it would.
Right.
Say your vowels.
I know my vowels. I know them before I come.
But if you know them, say them.
A-E-I-O-U.
A-E-I-O-U.
That's what I said.
But did that influence you in some way in
I've
your
been
life?
trying to mould you for 33 years. Is it working? No.
Yeah. Now,
I'm still trying, though.
I tell you a movie, a movie that
I'm not, listener, by the way. I'm not.
A movie that I love.
Yeah.
I loved it when I was young and I still love it
Oh, so we're
today.
moving up to, are we looking at old school movies or we're bringing
I'm
into
just going to tell you the movie.
Okay.
It's called Say Anything.
Oh, John Cusack.
Yes.
Right.
And actually, Ione Skye, we
Ione.
interviewed her with her husband. Yeah, which I got really like.
That's right.
Yes, and I
That's
got
how
really
I know
kind
this.
of
Fangirly?
I got a bit starstruck with her
Did you?
because of that movie. But she was so good in it. But it's just, I just love it because it was, as a teenage girl, it was kind of this different kind of a love story because it was really this lovely young fella who was genuinely in love with his girlfriend. He didn't come from a bad background and it wasn't all unrequited and he just loved her and he was really nice. Yeah, the normal and working out the teenage stuff. And yeah, I wanted that moment for myself. I wanted a guy to come to my window with a boombox.
The
and
in
and
your
a
eyes
song.
moment.
Yeah. romantic.
Why not giving you one of those moments in our time?
I'll have to think.
Yeah.
I'll have to think about
I mean, it wasn't a boombox.
I'm going to say yes, honey.
Thanks,
yes.
honey. Good.
Yeah. I'm going to just
go
say
with
yes.
me.
I am.
Because
that was a big influence on me, I remember, as a young girl. But look, here, before we go any further, I have a question for you. Girls grow up with fairy stories, right? Girls grow up with the Rapunzels and the Snow Whites and Cinderellas. And we learn that, it's about the guy coming and rescuing us. And, you just wait for your handsome prince after you've cleaned house with 7 small men. And it does, it does sink in, like that sort of
those
story.
stereotypes.
Yeah, those stereotypes.
And how
it does
you must
make
be.
an impact. So what made an impact to you as, like, you would have probably seen those movies as a young boy, I would think. Like, are those sort of Disney movies or anything, did any of those make an impact on you?
I guess they did, because I think I fell for the stereotypical, the man fixes things, I guess the Prince Charming aspect. Saving the day, I think, and being a fix-it person.
That was the role you felt like.
Yeah, I do.
Subtle imagery.
I think so.
Yeah.
It wasn't very conscious. So it was just more like, this is the way you need to be. You need to make things right and fix things. Though I didn't actually watch, those movies weren't the movies that I watched as a kid. I loved things like, so Sunday nights was Disney night. And Disney night, my favourite Disney type of movies were the Huckleberry Finn, the Adventure, Swiss Family Robertson, those sort of movies.
Not love stories.
No.
Well, different kind of love stories, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, and again, I guess they were every movie's a bit of a relationship movie. So,
Yeah, sure.
So Huck Finn was Huck and Tom, or Jim and Huck. They were important to me. I love those sort of stories, those adventure kind of things.
So you've been looking for a big African-American man all your life
to show me the way?
To show you the way.
That's really weird. I had it for a while.
I did.
Michael Edward Stevens was such a.
What about our son's
great
godfather, Oscar?
Oh, yeah, on Oscar. There he is. We bumped
in America. Lovely.
Oscar.
Yeah, lovely fella.
But I love my sports movies, so all those sort of things. And I know I grew up with Coolangatta Gold and Wind Rider with Tom Burlinson, and then the Horsey movies and Light Horseman and Far Lap and things like that. They were the movies that they were kind of sport movies, and I still gravitate towards those. I'm a sucker for those American sports movies, Hoosiers and,
I think I did.
One Fine Day.
I did a lot of romance movies. I did a lot of, especially romance coupled with, like, Princess Bride, of course, is.
Well, Princess Bride that's on my list here.
Yeah,
for
that's
relationship
just
movies.
a great
Wesley
love
and
story.
Buttercup.
Why didn't you wait for me?
Well, you were dead.
Death cannot stop true love. All it can do is delay it for a while.
One of the ones I really love too, I was reminded of this the other day, it's called Lady Hawk.
Oh, yeah.
And it's Michelle Pfeiffer.
And Rutger Hauer.
Yes.
Right.
And she is a hawk by night and he is a
wolf,
wolf in the day, and they can never meet in human form.
Wow.
And it's so beautiful, but I love that kind of magical. Yeah, sprinkle some magic and fantasy in with a love story. You got me every time.
Yeah.
Don't go out there. Don't go out there. There's a wolf, a big wolf, the biggest wolf you've ever seen, and a dead man.
I know.
The one movie that we watched together, actually, I don't know if we watched it. I know we have watched it several times together, but I think you might have introduced me to it, was About Time.
Yes.
Did you see that before me?
Yeah, I saw it with Lotus.
Okay, so that was, I'm looking at my list, it's 2013.
Yeah.
So I definitely only came to it maybe 5 years ago.
Yeah. It's one to put on your list, listener. Is
it Domhnall Gleeson? Is that how you say his name?
I believe so, yeah.
Bill Nighy.
Rachel McAdams.
And Rachel McAdams, yeah.
Yeah.
That to me is one of the great relationship movies. How that changes through time.
Did you have trouble parking?
Pardon?
It's just such a long way to your car.
Oh, yeah, well, my car's actually parked outside my house. I got a lift to the party.
Okay. That's good. That's perfect.
Okay.
His relationship, Dom's relationship with Rachel McAdams, is certainly that's the obvious love story. But
Yeah.
the father-son...
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Now, listener, you have to know this. I don't know if you've seen the movie. The moment, they travel through time and they can change time. It's a gift that is it the eldest son in the family or the males?
Sons,
just the males in this family have, where they can actually go back in time and change things.
And they tell the story well. Like that sounds a bit like ridiculous, but it's actually told really well.
Yeah, and you're actually, I think this must be happening somewhere
Yeah.
on the planet. Someone must have this superpower.
Yeah.
But Bill Nighy, who is one of my favourite actors alive, he's just done so many wonderful things, and he's so stinking quirky and interesting to watch. We talk about this bit, and I don't want to give away the movie if you haven't seen it, but it is 2013, so you've had a long time to see it. But it's that last scene when he's with his son together and he realises, I start to get teary right now when he realises this is the last time they're going to see each other.
I know.
And they go, is this it?
Wow! Oh my God! I've won! I haven't won in years.
You finally got good.
What's my prize apart from the Olympic gold medal, of course?
A kiss will have to do.
A kiss? A kiss? Oh. I get you. This is it then.
You know, and then they get to spend that moment together.
Yeah. But it's also about that movie. It always inspires me because it's really about the choices that you make are the choices that you make, and you just love the people that you have in that moment. Like that's really that underlying theme across it as well. Even if you go back in time, like you still, the choices that you make is you just stand by them in a way. Do you know what I mean? Like how that's really important all the way through.
Yeah, and that is true. What I'm thinking about in that moment is I'm very fortunate we both are to still have our parents with us.
Yeah.
And it's to make sure that I am fully present with my parents every time I get together with them.
Yeah.
Because I know that time is fleeting, so you never know when it's going to be the last time.
Yeah. Yeah. And what about, speaking of which, that's also true of the most beautiful love story, which is The Notebook. Also
Yes.
Rachel McAdams.
Yeah.
Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, and beautiful.
That's a gorgeous story, the retelling of that.
Yeah, well, them as older people, Jenna Rollins and James Garner. James Garner was always one of my favourite actors because he was Maverick on TV, and I loved his Maverick. And Jenna Rollins, I had the privilege of working with and getting to know them.
Yeah. Did that movie influence you in any way?
It did. His care with his wife, and obviously you don't know that that's the case.
Yeah, as it unfolds, you understand.
Yeah, you'll get it and you go, oh my gosh, his patience that he has, and then her beauty.
Fell in love, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
Good. I like this kind of story. Go on.
I'm glad you like it.
I think I've heard it before.
Yes.
Perhaps more than once.
Again, what it's taught me is as you're looking at the seasons of a relationship, and you've mentioned this to me in private, just going, the seasons of our relationship, like we've been together for 30 odd years, and where things started to where things are today, and you work through these different chapters. So to see that it's really played out beautifully in that movie, and I hope. It's such a lovely depiction of where she's at where Jenna Rollins gets to, where in older life, where she's lost her memory. There is some dementia, and there's a lot of attention today around dementia and what happens to us when we get older. I hope that we both stay, like our parents are, very present of mind, so that we are that. James Garner shows a great example of how to be respectful and love what love does and what he will do for her in the Notebook. It's a beauty. Did you write Crazy Stupid Love?
I did write Crazy Stupid Love because I love that movie.
How's that influenced your
I think it's
relationship
what
ideas?
I love about that movie is, well, there's different love stories within it as well. And I think that they hit it really well. Like, you've got the teenage kid with the older crush. You've got the player who finds the woman of his dreams.
Ryan
and
Gosling again.
Yeah, just is like, nah, this is it. I've actually found her.
Yeah.
And then you've got the couple that have been together for so many years, like us.
That sounds laboured.
I'm
sound
sorry.
tired.
No, but it's nice to see a love story with people of a certain age that have weathered the storms of relationship. And they do in this one.
Yeah.
They do in Crazy Stupid Love. There's infidelity and they get back together because they've been together for so long and they still love each other, and it's like it was a mistake.
I met my soulmate when I was 15 years old. We went out for ice cream. After, my dad started teasing me about my first date, the way dads do. And I told him, Dad, it's no big deal. I'm going to be going out with a lot of different girls on a lot of different dates. And that is the first time that I ever lied to my father.
They come back together at the end, and I just love that movie. I just think it's a ripper.
I also love, there's David. Is it David Niedermeyer? Kevin
Something
Bacon.
like that. Yeah.
I just love the way Steve Carell says his name. Fucking David Niedermeyer. But I love when they come back together. They come back together again in a whole new way. There just seems more respect and more listening. So I go with you on that one.
Yeah.
And it is entertaining because there's so many different levels of relationship. Like you said, there's the young son with the older girl, but the older girl's in love with
the dad.
With the dad.
Yeah.
And it's all weird. And then you throw Kevin Bacon into the mix.
Yeah.
And it is like that. What about, we talked about at the very beginning, my entertainment, I guess, where I really connect with is through music. I love it when music and movies come together. And to me, again, Ryan Gosling, wow. La La Land. Mm-hmm. I could watch that movie. That would be one of those movies when you're scrolling through.
Yeah, you'll stop.
Yeah, I'll always stop and watch that one.
Yeah, and I also adore that movie. I'm just a sucker for a really, really happy ending, and the fact that they're not together at the end, and I wanted them to be together so badly. And it's like, oh no, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And maybe this appeals to someone not in heels, or to any girl who feels there's some chance for romance, but I'm frankly feeling nothing.
Is that so?
Or it could be less than nothing.
Good to know, so you agree.
That's right. What a waste of a lovely night.
So I think pursuing your dream is really important because that's part of the relationship with self. Going, if you don't pursue your dreams, you that can hurt who you are. And they both give each other the space to pursue their dreams. But as you say, the happy ending is they pursue their dreams, they fulfill their dreams, and they're together now. And it doesn't happen. It almost happens.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I mean, there's so many in any way, shape or form. You've got your movies like your Ghost, which is devastating. You've got Moulin Rouge, which is another death of the loved one.
Yeah.
And
again, entwined in music.
Yeah.
Great music and entertainment.
Yeah, that's right. Shakespeare in Love as well. Which
that's one of your favourites, isn't it?
I adore that movie.
Yeah.
I just think that's really beautiful.
Tell me how you love her, Will.
Like a sickness and its cure together.
Yes. like rain and sun, like cold and heat. Is your lady beautiful? Since I came here from the country, I've not seen her close. Tell me, is she beautiful?
Thomas, if I could write the beauty of her eyes, I was born to look in them and know myself.
What is it, do you think, why do we keep making films about unrequited love? You know, why do they keep on writing about that? Is that just because we've all experienced it at some point? And
I think that's it. It's we can relate to it.
Yeah.
Plus, as far as, you know, the technical side of what makes a movie interesting is that it's tension.
You're gonna say tension.
I do. I do. As I said it before, it holds up bridges and buildings. You got to have it. And in this unrequited love, it just builds so much tension. And then, you know, to have the payoff. I remember our therapist in LA was saying that Jerry Maguire, right? She was like, no, that's wrong. Especially when Jerry Maguire stands up in front of Renee Zellweger at the end and says, you complete me.
You complete me. And I just had...
Shut up. Just shut up. You had me at hello.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and she's going, we shouldn't need someone else to complete us.
Mm-hmm.
And whilst, yeah, that's true. Like, I think if I didn't have you, I'd still be okay, but there's part of you that completes me.
Which part?
I don't know. Because there's always something undone, right? There's always, I mean, maybe that's it. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's the carrot. There's still more. And I love that because that keeps me engaged. It keeps the tension.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. Okay. You're just making stuff up now, aren't you?
No, I'm not. I'm not actually. Not actually. I do think because, I mean, bloody hell, we lasted 25 years over there. There was a carrot that was being chased. There was always something, you know, that keeps the momentum going, keeps me engaged. And I do like that. So maybe this is your psychic, your way going, I'll just withhold that little thing or keep him going.
No, I'm not that complicated.
You're not that manipulative either. What do you think about that you complete me? Does that resonate with you, or do you agree with that? Do you agree with the therapist going, you can't?
Look, I don't know. In a way, I get why it was such a powerful line, and when it came, you know, when that line was delivered, because he finally realized how in love he actually was with her, and he was willing to sort of go in and say it. You know, I think he says it in front of a whole bunch of other women.
All the women, yeah, they're having a women's group.
I love that. I think that's cool. And I do kind of get that thing where, yeah, you shouldn't have someone to completely complete you. You should feel completed yourself. You know, but it is a lovely thing to say at the same time. So, yeah, I guess if you go in the romance world, it's great. If you go in the therapist world, it might not be.
Yeah.
I'm completed and I want to join you in my completeness. It doesn't quite sound as good.
It doesn't. Yeah. I'm choosing to walk beside you because I'm happy I'm all one alone.
Yes,
and
correct.
Yeah.
Correct. There's some of my favorite romance films are the classics, the Jane Austens, like those period dramas. I love them. And I mean things like Pride and Prejudice, that's a love story that a lot like Shakespeare stories as well, but the Jane Austen ones, they just keep being retold as well because the story is so fantastic, you know, from TVs to movies, and that lets you know that that's a good love story.
Pride and Prejudice.
I might wonder why, with so little effort at civility, I'm rejected.
And I might wonder why, with so evident a desire to offend and insult me, you chose to tell me that you like me against your will, against your reason, and even against your character.
Or Bride and Prejudice.
Well, we've seen both.
Yeah.
The Bollywood version is Bride and Prejudice that the kids love.
What about The Bodyguard?
Will you grab that jacket for me, the red one, please?
I'm here to keep you alive, not help you shop.
Thanks.
Is that a relationship movie that sticks with you?
No.
Does that come up at all?
No.
Good
No,
entertainment,
it's not.
though.
It's not It's not relational for me because I'll never be a singer with Whitney Houston.
Well, no one's going to be like Whitney Houston.
But I'll never be a singer. Full stop.
Yeah, and
yeah,
no
so
one will
I-
ever be a bodyguard like Kevin Costner,
Right.
especially when that silk falls down over the top of his Japanese sword, and it just because it's so sharp and it splits in two.
Oh wow!
That
You
moment.
really remember that film? I don't remember that part at all. Things clearly stayed with you. Yeah, no, I think for romance movies, I often look for things that, just a bit more relatable. Mind you, Princess Bride was relatable about that.
I'm looking for the six-fingered man.
Yeah. Oh, but I have to say, one of my all-time favorite A, movies and B, romance movies. And when you were talking about books to movies, the Guernsey Literary and Potato Pie Society.
How did you imagine me, Mr. Adams, when you wrote me a letter?
Tweed hunting skirt, very large in the bottom. Teeth like a horse, a few wisps of ginger grey hair, and glass as thick as jam jars.
She sounds lovely.
Who was the pig farmer you sent books to?
I did have a couple of ideas, but it was more of a sense that I was writing to someone who already understood me.
I adore that film.
I reckon you've just knocked about 20% of our listeners off their chair when you said that. They've gone, yes!
You reckon?
Yes!
I think it's an underrated film as well.
It's a great movie.
It's a great movie.
Is
I
it because?
love it.
Is it also because for you, or why is it a great movie for you?
Well, she's a writer, which I love, number one, and a great writer as well. Yeah, it's just going out to that little island in Guernsey and just post World War II and just the stories of the people there, but the connection that they have with each other and again, the kindness. It's like that's what gets me. It's the kindness of two people who are in love and finding their way to each other. And I just that I really relate to. It's just it's a beautifully well told story.
How do you relate to that? What is it when you say two people trying to find each other? Have you got experience in that?
No. No, I mean, look, I just think I just love that kind of a love story. I just think it's very simply told. Like, you know, in comparison to The Bodyguard, where I go, it's a good hit me in the face love story, sure. But when you've got something for me that I just find a little bit softer, gentler, and that's what gets me. That's what I just like. Again, like the Say Anything movie where it's two teenagers in love.
Yeah. Any movie really about love that you connect with. The last one I was thinking of was Love Actually.
Yeah.
And all the different stories in Love Actually and the different way love is expressed and all the machinations of love.
Colin Firth's my favourite one in that for the love story.
Yes.
Learning another language. They had love across, without even understanding each other with words. There was a feeling. And when they captured that feeling on film of like that spark that you could see between them, it's like, oh, I love that. That's the essence of love and attraction, which is so exciting to me.
It's my favourite time of day. Driving you.
É a parte mais triste do meu dia, deixá-lo.
Well, we'd love to know your favourite love stories.
Yeah.
And also
And why.
Yeah,
Why do
why
you
they
love them?
shaped your view of love and relationship.
I have one more question for you because this one kind of blew me away on the list.
Oh, God, I'm nervous now.
You have Beauty and the Beast, and I'm wondering...
Yeah, Beauty and the Beast, the Robbie Benson Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, why?
From 1991. Look, and this is weird. I don't know. Robbie Benson is an American actor, and he did a movie about he lived in a bubble. His immunity was down.
Yeah, because
Now, I remember
Boy in the Bubble.
I guess I was maybe 15 or 16, and the whole concept of that blew me away as an adolescent guy. And I just really liked his acting. And then when I heard his voice and he was the beast and he could do this beastly acting.
You fell in love with Robbie Benson.
All over again.
That's the love story.
Yeah, all over again.
Yeah.
And this thing that the beast was so arrogant as a prince, right, before he became the beast, and then he had to find humility and kindness, and he does, and it's too late in the end. But then the magic comes and it's not too late. It's all saved.
Yeah.
And he ends up changing. And I loved that. And maybe that's...
It's a tale as old of time, actually.
It is. It definitely is. Thank you, Angela Lansbury. Tale as old as time.
Tale as old as time, song as old as rhyme, Beauty and the Beast.
I think that maybe I related to it because maybe I felt beastly in a way and needed to change and grow and learn humility and learn it just touched me.
Yeah.
It did. I learned a lot and was like, okay, no, you need to be a better listener.
It does.
You need to be more patient.
Yeah, I do get that. That is a good imagery, you know, to put across that the arrogance of people is not going to win you
and
friends and lovers.
It's not all about me.
Yeah.
You know, he had to learn that.
Yeah.
Which was a really big lesson for me. As you know, it's not all about me, mate. The narcissistic part of it.
Right.
I learned a lot from that.
Interesting.
And yes, it was a cartoon. And the fact that I probably watched it 20 times because we watched it with the kids, you know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was a bit like Tarzan, watching Tarzan, the animated movie, and I watched it with Lotus when she was all those times and coupled with the Phil Collins soundtrack.
Yes.
And, I mean, it's still... I'm swallowing purposefully to hold back the tears of "You'll Be in My Heart." I still get it. So... You're a beast. How dare you pick this topic? You know I would end up crying.
I didn't know you were going to go Tarzan
I didn't
on
know
me.
either. I didn't even write it on my list.
I know.
It's
You
not
brought it
here.
up.
You'll be in my heart.
I know. See, that's you. That takes you back to that's what touches you is the music.
Well, and also the fact that Lolo would,
of course,
she would sit in my lap and she'd lie back and put her arms around my ears and you know, Dada, let's watch it again.
It's a great love story, you and your daughter.
It is.
And I think that's probably also what does make a movie special is who you see it with, what time of your life you're seeing it in. And
yeah, because you can watch these films also at a time when you've just caught the parking inspector putting a ticket on your windshield and all the feelings that go along with that sort of thing. But then when there are other times when your receptors are open and you're ready to you know, sock it to me, okay, I'm in.
Sure.
I'm in for this ride. So, we'd love to hear yours. We'd love to hear yours. Hit us up on our socials. I'm on Instagram at Cameron Daddo and Ali, you're at...
Ali Daddo.
Ali Daddo. Yeah, hit us up and we'd love to hear your romance.
Yeah, and if you agree with any of our favourite films as well, especially Tarzan.
Yeah, Monkey Man.
Thanks for listening. All right, take care.
Bye for now.